President Biden will attend a dignified transfer today for the Army reservists killed in Jordan last weekend. And testimony continues in a Michigan woman's trial in connection with a 2021 high school shooting. Good morning. I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. Later today, President Biden and the First Lady will attend a dignified transfer at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. It's for the 3 Army reservists killed in Jordan last weekend. As NPR's Tamara Keith reports, the defense secretary and relatives of the soldiers will also be there.
Sergeants William Jerome Rivers, Kennedy Landon Saunders, and Breonna Alexandria Moffett were killed in a drone attack on a military outpost near the Syrian border. Iran-backed militants have claimed responsibility. At the National Prayer Breakfast this week, President Biden said he had spoken with each of the families and was praying for them and their lost loved ones.
They risked it all. And we'll never forget the sacrifices and service to our country, that the dozens of service members who were wounded and are recovering now.
Every dignified transfer is solemn and largely private. This will be the second one Biden has attended as president. Tamara Keith, NPR News, the White House.
President Biden visited a United Auto Workers Union Hall near Detroit, Michigan yesterday. The UAW has endorsed his presidential campaign. But as Biden got near the hall, scores of protesters bunched nearby. They're demanding a ceasefire in Gaza. Protesters have shown up at many of Biden's events demanding a halt to the war in Gaza between Israel and Hamas. Last week, Arab American leaders in Michigan refused to meet Biden's top campaign manager. They cited the more than 27,000 Palestinians who've been killed by Israeli attacks since the war started. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the Senate is on track to vote on a bill that includes aid to Ukraine and Israel and for border security measures. But hardline House Republicans say they oppose it. Even if it passes the Senate, House Speaker Mike Johnson might not even bring the bill up for debate. Testimony continues today in the trial of a Michigan woman charged in connection with a school shooting committed by her son. Jennifer Crumbly faces 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. From member station WDET, Alex McLennan has more.
Crumbly's 15-year-old son killed 4 people at Oxford High School in 2021. In his mother's trial, prosecutors have pointed to text messages her son sent her, claiming he was seeing demons. When asked by her lawyers on Thursday if she saw those messages, Jennifer Crumbly said,
"I'm sure I did, but they weren't. No, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I saw them, but they just didn't stick out to me until this case."
Crumbly says her son had believed their house was haunted since he began playing with a Ouija board in 2015. The prosecution will have a chance to cross-examine the defendant today. Jennifer Crumbly's husband, James, will stand trial on identical charges in March. For NPR News, I'm Alex McLennan in Detroit.
It's Groundhog Day, and the famous Pennsylvania groundhog Punxsutawney Phil has come out of his burrow. Punxsutawney Groundhog Club member Dan McGinley made the announcement last hour. Phil did not see his shadow and therefore has this weather prediction.
Glad tidings on this Groundhog Day! An early spring is on the way!
According to records in Punxsutawney, a groundhog has predicted the weather since 1877. This is NPR.